So Renee, how was your neurology appointment?
Well, I had to get an electroencephalography test so my doctor can tell which side of my brain that the seizures are coming from.
Does it cause any pain?
No, it doesn't cause any type of pain, but it can be uncomfortable since the glue can make your head become itchy. Let's go back to my place so we can talk about this more privately.
Okay, sounds good. So do you have to take any type of medication for your seizures?
Yes, I have to take gabapentin for my seizures so my doctor and I can get my seizures under control.
How long do you have to take seizure medication for?
Unfortunately, I have to take seizure medication for the rest of my life because I was diagnosed with simple partial seizures and tonic-clonic seizures, and so I was diagnosed with a common neurological disorder called epilepsy. Okay, now that we're in a much more private environment, let me explain to you how both types of seizures affect me and what to look for when I or anybody else slips into a seizure.
Alright.
With my tonic-clonic seizures, I end up doing this. Okay, well, actually, let me tell you something that's important to know, which is some people with epilepsy or some seizure disorder can develop what's called auras.
What are auras?
Auras are when someone who has seizures, regardless the reason why, can experience some of the most scariest sensations, feelings, and the way you see the world around you.
I'm sorry this happens to you and millions of other people who have to suffer with these stupid seizures.
It's okay, but different types of seizures can make someone have different feelings and sensations from seizure to seizure.
What do you mean?
Well, for starters, when someone has auras, some of the most common feelings people get are headache. Some will get dizzy or even lightheaded, or our heart will feel like it's so fast, also known as tachycardia. We can become hot, nauseous, and we may or may not throw up. Seizures can make someone black out and get confused, but I can feel like I'm floating, but I also get weak, heavy, and I can have trouble breathing with my seizures. My other friend also has epilepsy, so I'm going to invite her over so she can explain how her diagnosis of epilepsy affects her and to help you better understand how it affects us differently.
Okay, that'll be great. Hey, how are you? And my best friend told me that you also battle with epilepsy.
Hey, and yes, I do have epilepsy.
If I may ask you, but when were you diagnosed with epilepsy and how has it impacted your life?
I actually developed epilepsy after I had a traumatic brain injury from being in a car accident 8 years ago. It has impacted my life in so many ways, such as losing some of my independence. I was in a rollover type of car accident and I don't understand how I got the traumatic brain injury because I was wearing my seatbelt.
Oh wow, I'm so sorry that happened to you, and I never thought a car accident could cause epilepsy.
Well, it wasn't the car accident that made me develop epilepsy, it was actually the traumatic brain injury. On impact, it affected my brain because traumatic brain injuries make your brain bounces inside of your skull.
But girl, that is devastating to hear. Did you ever thought that you could have ever developed epilepsy from what occurred to you and the car accident? Because I honestly never knew that was even possible. But I am so thankful that you survived your injury, because now you are able to tell the world about your story with epilepsy, how it impacted your life, and it made me realize that it's true that epilepsy is developed in a multitude of ways. Thank you, Kate, for telling me your story and how you developed epilepsy. That was really brave of you to do.
You're welcome, Sean.
I can't even imagine how scared you could have been that day.
To be honest with you, but I don't remember much of the accident, but the day started off good when a drunk driver was swerving all over the road and he ended up plowing right into me, but the hard impact caused my body to go unconscious.
Wow, Kate, I'm so sorry.
I remember waking up in the intensive care unit scared, but I couldn't talk because I had a tube down my throat to help me breathe.
Dang, Kate.
So my life has been flipped upside down since the accident.
So do you have to be put on anti-seizure medications or no? Because does any type of way that someone develops epilepsy, and will medication help regardless the reason why, or no?
Unfortunately, I do have to take medication for my seizures, because it doesn't matter why someone develops epilepsy, they still will need some type of treatment to help them have better control of their seizures.
Wow.
My niece doesn't have epilepsy, but she had seizures, and she had multiple seizures from a high fever when she was only 3 years old.
How I thought it is considered a rare instance because people don't normally have seizures from just a fever alone.
You're right about that, but except it's different when it comes to children because they are still growing and their immune system is weak, so they are more prone to seizures when they are burning up. Okay, well, I got to run, so I'll talk to you later, so I'll have Renee come back in here.
Okay. Well, thanks again for sharing your story with battling with epilepsy.
You're welcome.
So what did you think about Kate's story with epilepsy?
I really appreciated this time with helping me understand what epilepsy is and how it affects people in many different ways. So thank you for it.
Well, I need to go to work, but you can come and you can attend our monthly meeting about epilepsy and the safety we need to provide for those who have epilepsy or seizure disorders, so you know what to do to help someone in need.
Yes, I would love to attend the meeting, so thank you for inviting me.
You're welcome, but this meeting is for the public and it's free to learn about what to do, so Okay, hello everyone. Let's go around the room and introduce ourselves, starting with your name.
Hello, I'm Chantel.
Hey, I'm Kate.
Hey, I'm Marcus.
Hey, I'm Pablo.
Hey, I'm Ash.
So does anyone know anything about seizures?
I do know that people who have seizures develop what's called auras.
That's correct, but do you know what auras mean?
It's when someone who have seizures experience strange feelings and sensations.
That's correct, but what else do auras signify with seizures?
I don't know.
How about you, Marcus? Do you know anything about seizures, or why so many people who have seizures experience auras, or the main reason for auras to occur in those who have seizures?
Well, I heard auras are feelings that those who have seizures experience right before they have a seizure. It's like a warning.
Exactly, but did you know that not everyone who have seizures develop auras?
No, I didn't know that.
I know that seizures have similar symptoms like with anxiety or brain cancer.
That's also correct, but can anyone tell the rest of us some common symptoms with seizures?
Well, I developed epilepsy from having a traumatic brain injury from a car accident 8 years ago.
Would you, Kate, like to tell us some of your common symptoms with your epilepsy?
I get hot, dizzy, confused, blurry vision, headaches, chest pains, trouble breathing, and many.
Okay, someone tell me something else about seizures that is important to know.
Well, purple is the theme color for epilepsy, which is because it is a calming color.
That's true. What else?
When someone has a seizure, they aren't able to swallow their tongue.
That's true, and nobody can choke on their tongues. It's impossible to do. But someone can bite their tongue or cheeks during a grand mal seizure, but never put anything in their mouths during a seizure because it can cause more damage, such as with their teeth, which can be chipped if something hard is in the way.
I don't think I know anything else about seizures.
Okay, has anyone ever heard about status epilepticus or no?
I have heard about status epilepticus, and I know that it is when the seizure lasts longer than 5 minutes, which can become fatal.
Exactly, which is fatal, yes, but most people who have controlled seizures normally can be okay with the proper treatment, such as medication or device. Let's review what we all just learned about epilepsy and seizures. Who would like to start?
I will. When someone has a seizure, to always make sure that they are put onto their side during a seizure.
Good. What else?
Move away anything that is near a person who is having a seizure so they don't hurt themselves or even hurt the people who are around them.
Exactly.
If a seizure lasts longer than 5 minutes, then someone needs to call 911.
Right on, because that's called status epilepticus, which can become fatal if not controlled.